Hi everybody, this is Gary Dean with Sentiment Timing, and this is our technical video report for Sunday, July 21st, 2024. Hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend, and let's get started. So the bears continue to press the bulls and price lower, and where we actually are trying to make a low makes sense, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is just a fib retracement from this low here that we made on July 1st, and the top that we made on July 16th. So you can see we made it through. I removed all the other fib numbers, the 23, 38, 50, 62, because we're through all those. And the last one we have, you can see, is right at the 78% retracement, which is right around that 54.94 level, which is where we bounced. And it actually the bounce makes perfect sense on it. And this is really the main reason is we have buy signals right here. So I'm anticipating that, when the only thing that's stopping me from pounding the table saying that we're going to get a bounce is that this market is kind of bipolar, and it ignored all the sell signals on the way up. So there's no guarantee that they're going to abide by them on the way down. So we just got to keep an eye on things with it. But this is the support level. If the bears can get through here, then we're going to have that quick move down to the 54.50 level, 54.55. And then from there, what will happen is if we get down to those levels here, where you can see this is the moving average as well. So this made sense where this was going to be a low right here. And I was mentioning it to members in the trading room that I wasn't against looking for some type of bounce, but it never really panned out. And that's just because this market's pretty weak right now. So we're in the support zone right here. Again, if the bears can get through this moving average, then most likely we're coming down to that 54.50 level. And if they get below that, then we're looking at a move coming down to the 53.30. Now, remember, we have this open gap right here that's at the right around that 53.77. So I wouldn't be all that, I wouldn't be surprised to see if we do head a little bit lower. Now, if we just do some fib retracements here, let's just go from this one here. And we can see that we're right around that 38% retracement level. So let me just zoom in a little bit so we can see it. And, this is the support zone that I put in place. It's going to be, we could even lower this. I mean, this is price support right here. But if we just kind of take this and move it down, this is the fib retracement. So with this right now, we're in the first, support zone. I'm just going to move this down now a little bit to where we are and move this down and say this is probably going to be your buy area. It's going to be anywhere from the 5,500 down to the 54.27 as a 38. I'm sorry. Here it is. Actually, it's 54.84 is the 38% retracement. And if it goes below that, that's when we're looking at the price support down at the 54.50. And then we have the 50% retracement, which is here. So this is the lower end of the support zone right here. And that's at 54.28. So if the bears get through it, then things open up, because what we will have to do is then take a look and say, all right, well, maybe we're doing the full retracement from the October 22 lows to here. And if that's the case, and this would make perfect sense. Actually, it would make more sense than seeing a bounce. Well, not a bounce, but seeing new highs after the bounce. Until we get down and test this 51.50 and possibly even down to this 48.31 level. And that would be a decent little retracement from this really kind of nonstop move up here. And it would give the bulls time to refuel. This is the previous wave 4, so that's right around that 5,000 level. So I'm not saying that the top is in just yet, because we still need to see us break through some important support levels. First one being this 54.23. I do believe if if we come down there, because that's also the 50% retracement. So this may end up being a magnet for the market, the 54.28. And the reason why is we have the 50-day moving average, we have price support, and then we have Fibonacci support. So if we get down here, I think taking a chance on the long side on a bounce would make sense. Now, if we get a bounce tomorrow, I think there's going to be sellers waiting right around that 55.75 level. If we look at the 15-minute chart here, you can see the first line they're going to have to get above is the 55.35. If they get above it, then we're coming up to the 55.75. And this, like I was showing you the support levels, what we want to do is keep an eye on where are the resistance levels. So if we draw our fib lines here and just kind of take a look at things, so we have the buy signals here. So if we do get a bounce, it would make sense. You can see the 38% retracement is the 55.62, and then we have the 55.83. So I think this is pretty good, as far as resistance. I'd be looking and saying, all right, anywhere between these levels here should be resistance, and that's going to be that this is price resistance, and that's up at the 56.12. 56.04 is a 62% retracement, but I really believe that we're going to see sellers waiting, in this area here, anywhere from the 54.60 up to the the 54, say 82. I think that's going to be a lot of resistance right there. So if they, let's say that this plays out exactly as I'm laying out right here, which is never really the case, but let's just say it is. So let's do some extensions now. So let's just assume that we're going to get a bounce up to this 56.75 level. Now we want to see where's the downside target going to be. And if we go down and look, because all we're doing is taking the size of this initial move, the bounce, and then it's going to give us the extensions on it. And if you look, just an extension right here, if we got up to this 54.75, would be coming down to the 5400. Again, let's look at here. 5400, 54.28 is support. And then we have the 54.23 is the moving average. And so that's pretty close to that type of bounce. Now, maybe we get a higher bounce, and it's what we would do is that would, let's say we want to line this up with the 54.23 level. So what I would do to kind of project where the next, bounce will come, where sellers will be waiting, it would probably be a move up to this 56.12, because if we put it there, so now let's say this is an A, this is a wave B, which is price resistance, and then as well as if we just kind of zoom in a little bit, this is the fib retracement too. So if we got up here, you can see it's right around that 62% retracement level. And the reason why I'm doing this is I want this 100% line to be right around that 54.24. If it gets through it, then we're coming down to the 5400. But that's assuming that we're going to get a bounce that would make sense, because we have buy signals right here. And if we get up here, this would be a decent place to start looking on the short side. I wouldn't right here, even though we could head lower. It's risky to ignore these. And another thing that I would kind of look as far as what I would see playing out would be we get that bounce up to the 55.75, maybe to 5600. That's going to bring this up, and then what will happen is when we come back down again, and let's say we come down to that 54.23, we're going to have buy signals here. So you're going to see this is where we would get buy signals on the hourly chart, but we need the bounce to be able to bring up the momentum indicators. We're very oversold on the RSI, very oversold on momentum, and you can see price oscillator still has to draw out some type of bullish divergence. Now, it doesn't always have to, but it would, as far as charting wise, it would make the most sense. So if we got a bounce, you can see right around that 55.73, this is the resistance zone. And if the bears can take it through, that's when we start looking at a move coming down to the 54.28 level, 54, anywhere from the 54.40 down to the 54 23 level, which again would be the 50-day moving average. So a bounce and then down would be the preferred pattern that I'm looking for. If we head down, then you got to keep an eye on this 54.50 level. That's going to be support right there, and on the upside, it's going to be the 54.80 all the way up to the 56.06. So let's see what plays out tomorrow. Stay a little bit open-minded. Again, it would make the most sense to get some kind of bounce. But let's see the way the market's open, and I'll go over everything in the morning. So with that, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I will talk to you tomorrow.